We're visiting the beach and we're within walking distance of where we're staying, but being a dad, you always end up carrying something you didn't come with. So it was either make 2 trips back and forth or make a surfboard backpack with this piece of rope. So here's how I did it. I started by finding the center point of my rope, and then I pulled in 3 equal parts, just pulling it apart just like this. Then I set it down, and the ropes hanging down on either side, they're going to wrap underneath the board and then through each opposing loop. This setup constricts the board, but you want to make sure you do it towards the right direction, because if you pull it the wrong way, it's going to collapse onto itself. So we want to make sure that as the tension is applied, it's pulled so that it constricts. Now because of that, I'm going to flip over the board so we can tie the straps on the opposite side. Now you can see it gets tighter as we pull on the tension. So here's one way to tie it. It's easier to do, but it's not as stable. We're going to pull in a simple overhand knot and then run the other strands through. That way we have the straps centered on the back of the board. You probably guessed it, we're going to separate those 2 strands now and we're just going to tie them in the back. To tie this together, I'm going to use one of my time-honored knots. It's a simple sheep bend. You just make a loop on one side and then you thread the other side through. You go around and under, and that is not going anywhere. Now, I'm not a surfer myself, and I've never seen this before, but the person I borrowed the board from put all this plant material into the wax. Now, if you know what this is all about, please tell me about it in the comments. But it does make a mess, so I'm just flipping it around. The leg strap I just ran through the rope to keep it from dragging on the ground. Now, be prepared to get lots of looks when you're walking down the boardwalk with this thing tied to your back. Maybe they just thought I was handsome, but it was probably the board. Now this method is a little harder to tie, but it is more stable. So what I'm going to do is run the rope around and then grab the rope on the other side and tie in a sheep end right there. Same thing on the other side. I'll just match up the end that's loose. I'll take the side, pull in a bite, and I'm going to tie in another sheep end. Now it's just a matter of adjusting everything so it sits right as you carry it. So this is more stable, but it does separate the straps, so you kind of have to hold them on your shoulders. And because the knots are so simple, it's really easy to undo. You have the basic idea of how this is all tied, so let me show you how it's done in real time on a boogie board.